Hey, hola, ¿cómo estás? Bonjour, ça va? It's me, the Lost Canuck, coming at you live and in person from the barbecue lab. Hey, for all you insulated vertical smoker fans out there, this video is for you, okay? I'm gonna fire up the SilverSmoke today. I'm gonna put 9 racks of ribs. We're gonna really test the heck out of this thing. It's my son's kayak trip this weekend, and they have a barbecue after. So there's going to be a bunch of hungry swimmers. He's on the swim team, so we're going to make him some ribs. All right, among other things we're smoking. So let's get these 9 racks ready. I'm going to prep the first. So I went to Costco and I bought three packs of ribs. And so here they are in front of us, and we're going to turn them into these juicy, tasty, succulent, yummy, ready for swimmers ribs, barbecued ribs. Stay tuned. All right, so prep is pretty simple. You take them out of the package. Now these are baby back ribs, the kind that the baby back maniac likes. And the Costco ones, they pre-pull the membranes on the baby backs. I don't think they do on the St. Louis style, but these ones they do, which is kind of nice, and it's going to save me some time. So basically I've patted these two off. I'm going to put a little rub on there. This is the Yes Deer barbecue sauce. This is from this is yellow sauce from Yes Deer Barbecue, made in Savannah, Georgia, home of the Savannah Bananas. They're pretty cool. All right, so I thought I'd try this out. It's a mustard sauce. I'm gonna prep all 9 racks the same way. We'll do these 3 for you the way I do them, and then I'll meet you down at the pit. All right. So let's get the sauce on, or the bind. This is binder. Now you don't have to use binder. I like to use it because I like some of the spices, like the mustard part you're not going to taste. But the little spices that are in your sauce or binder that's left behind, you actually can taste that. So I think you can anyway. So maybe some people can't. I don't know. Man, these are some pretty ratty looking ribs. So I'm going to have to cut some of the flap off here, and here's a flap over here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Not sure what happened at the plant. Don't need that. Okay, so there's our binder on that one. Get some binder over here. This is good on regular barbecue too. I like this stuff. I picked this up over at Northern Fire. My friend Aaron over at Northern Fire Barbecue over in Minnetonka. He sells this stuff. So if you're local to the Twin Cities area, that's where you can get this. Try it out. It's pretty decent. All right, so let's get the rub on this. Now, since it's the local swim team, I'm going with a local rub. This is Ope We're Smoking, one of my all-time faves. This one's their honey chipotle rub. It's a small local company run by Josh and Sarah. Great guys. And they make the best rubs. Really, they do. Oh, and this rub I picked up at a local barbecue store. The local barbecue store is brand new here in Hudson. It's called Smoke on the Water Grills and Provisions. It's run by Dave Olson. Drop in, say hi to Dave. It's right next to Noodles and Company over on the south side of town there. So let's pat this all in. We'll flip. Prep is simple. So all 9 racks are going to be prepped the same way. We're going to dry brine these in the fridge overnight. Basically, and I know Taco Cat, if you're watching, I know you'd hate that word, but hey, for all the lay people watching, or just us regular Joes, or us backyard barbecue kind of guys, although I am a food engineer, What dry brining is basically we're going to, this is pre-salting with, rub's got a lot of salt in it. And then we're going to put it into the fridge, which is a chiller, okay? So basically we're going to use the reverse osmosis process where the salts and everything soak into the meat overnight. Makes for a much more flavorful, yummy rib. And the longer you can do the process, the further into the meat the salt goes. Now, you probably don't want to go over a day, maybe, unless it's a brisket or something, then you can go longer. But ribs, overnight's good. All right, so now we've got them prepped. You saw this, but it'd take 2 minutes. It'd be less if I would, quit talking. So I'm going to do all the rest of the ribs. I got lots of ribs to go. I will see you down at the SilverSmoke Insulated Vertical Smoker. I'm going to put 3 racks per level. Mine's a 3-shelf unit. And I'm going to run it with the Chef'sTemp S1 and the little blower fan, the Breezo. Should turn out good. Probably cook these in about 4 hours or so, 5 hours. All right, I'll see you down at the pit. All right, well, we're getting our SilverSmoke ready here. And what I did forget, a couple of features I forgot to tell you about, was you see the carbon steel sheet that separates the burn, your firebox from your smoking area. This, you can pop it out and remove it, okay? So you can take this out and just direct heat if you wanted to, maybe some chicken or something. And then there's the firebox. And then some of you guys were asking me about the grate. Well, this is the basket, okay? And then there is a full ash pan that slides in and out. So your ash goes through the grating. So there we go. Let's get this thing loaded up with some charcoal and throw the ribs in. Okay, well, we're at our little charcoal chimney. Just gonna fire this up here. There's one. I like to do 2 just in case. All right, so let's put our charcoal over it. Get this going. There we go. All right, wait till it gets ashed over. I'll show you what we did over here in the charcoal basket. There's my lazy dog. Okay, so I made some room here in the corner for the charcoal. It will burn radially out. Got more briquettes in here. I'm using Meat Church briquettes, and then I've got some chunks of pecan mixed in there. So we're going to go low and slow. That's why I chose briquettes for the ribs. All right, well, you saw me light the charcoal chimney. I got the basket loaded up. Let's get the hot coals in there and get her closed up and heat it up. All right, well, the chimney coals are starting to get ashed over nicely, so just dump these in. Let's put a couple briquettes on top of those. Like I say, it's going to burn from the corner out. Now, one thing I wish Darren would look into is making a set of dividers that you can do a full snake method with. And maybe even making the basket out of stainless. Maybe that could be an upgrade option or something. What you can do is go to Home Depot, or if you have Lowe's, or Fleet Farm I know has it where I am. You can get fire bricks, the thin ones, and create your own little maze, but it'd be nice if they offered one right from the factory. Okay, so let's get this in. Now it's not hot yet. I guess I didn't really need my gloves. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'll get the water pan. I got our racks, everything else put in there. Open up your top damper. Let's get this thing closed up, because it will be hot soon. I'm running this whole thing with the Chef'sTemp S1 system and the Breezo fan. And so I'll take it off the tripod so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so like I said, I got my little Chef'sTemp. That's the S1 gauge. That's the Breezo fan. Now, I have it plugged in to power, but you know what? I have a portable battery I could hook it up to too, and then I'd just be 100% independent. But you can see the smoke already coming out of here. So I'm going to set this thing up for 225, and I have I have briquettes in there, so it should be pretty easy to maintain that. All right, let's get this thing set up, and I'll bring the meat down. Okay, so we got our meat out here in this little tub here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 racks of ribs per layer. I'm going to put a temp probe in each rack, so 1 per layer, and then go from there. So I'm going to use this one. This is my meat stick duo. Let's get our ribs laid out onto the racks. Now remember, this is just an indication on what's going on. Okay, bottom rack in place. Let's get our next one in place. And I need to go grab some more meat. Okay, remember I said barbecue is a messy business? It really is. You can see that chef's, I don't know if you can see it from there, that chef's temp keeps it right at 225. Let's get this next layer of ribs on. Put that on pause every time I open this up. Sorry, I'm talking to you with my back to you. You can easily fit 9 racks of ribs in here. Let's put our next temperature probe, and this is the top rack. So now I'll know the difference between the top and the bottom. This is my Combustion Inc. Gen 2 probe. I like this one too. It's pretty decent. Okay. All right, all the ribs are in. Water pan's full. She's smoking. So the one rack is at 42. The other one's at 47. So not a terrible temperature gradient. So let me get this stuff cleaned up. And when it's time to spritz the ribs and wrap them, that'll be next. All right, well, it's time to wrap our ribs. We're right around 165, 166 in there across all 3 levels. So let's pull some of these things out. We'll put this on pause. Well, they're smoky, that's for sure. We're going to do them 1 level at a time. I think I started with the bottom level, so they look pretty decent. Yeah. Now they have a lot of drippings on top of them. So we'll bring these up to completion. I'm going to dump the water pan. Maybe just crisp the surface up a little bit. I don't want to burn the crap out of myself. Okay, we'll take them up another 10 degrees. Let the surface tack up a bit. It was a little too moist. I probably had a little too much water in the water pan, but we'll take care of that, and then we'll wrap them. We'll see you in a minute. All right, well, it's time to now wrap the ribs. I took the water out of the water pan. It's just a drip tray now. The surface is really tacked up. It's nice and dry. So what we're going to do, take them out, wrap them with a little butter and sauce, put them back up. I'll bring it up. I'll bring the SilverSmoke up to 275. It's been right around 225, 230 in there. And then we'll keep on smoking until the ribs are up in the 200s. Probably right in at 200 or probe tender. So let's pull these off, wrap them, and then keep on smoking. All right, so time to wrap these 6 racks of ribs. I'm going to let that bottom rack go a little longer, just because all the fat from the top 2 levels was dripping down, kind of softening up the bark a little bit. So we'll wrap these, throw them back in, leave the other ones on for another, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour, let the bark get crispy, and then we'll wrap those too. All right, so let's get going. So I usually put 1 pat of butter on the bottom, put a rack on top of them, and then put 2 on top. 1, 2, just like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is take some of this Blues Hog. Need that glove. So this is some of my favorite barbecue sauces. This is Champion's Blend by Blues Hog. And I like to just put a little bit of that in there. It gives it some good flavor. There. Okay, that's the bone, that's the meat side. So you want to go meat side down when we place these, okay? Anyways, I'll wrap a couple of these. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but this is how we're going to do it. And then I'll shut the camera off, keep on wrapping. All right, so that's how you wrap them. Let's throw them back out on the pit. All right, well, we got our ribs all wrapped now, even the bottom layer. I got the first 2 layers put back in. I've just wrapped this one. Let's get it back in. I got the pit set at 275. All right, so all the racks of ribs are in. I just have to clean up my prep table here. Get my pans cleaned up a little bit. And like I say, I got it set to 275. It'll crank itself up here in a minute. And we'll finish off the ribs like that. Probably a couple more hours till it's 200. So I'll see you when it's time to pull them, unwrap them. We'll put a little glaze on them, glaze them for a few minutes, and then put them in the holding oven. Okay, well, we are at the SilverSmoke again, and it's running right at 300. I turned it up a bit to finish the ribs off. They're wrapped, they're inside. They've hit 200 degrees, so we're going to pull them off, glaze them, put them back on for about 20 minutes just to set the glaze, and then we're going to put them in some pans to eat later. So I got 2 different kinds of glazes we're going to use. I got Kosmos, this is peach jalapeno, good glaze, really like this stuff. And I got some Texas pepper jelly, this is rib candy, apple habanero. Now, they're not spicy, they're just a good glaze. So when you hear the jalapeno and habanero, you don't have to, oops, those are the wrong gloves. You don't have to worry about it. So, oh, I got to get my garbage can for the paper, so hang on a second. All right, well, let's put our, now these Hey Grill Hey gloves are good to 450, and I like using these. You can use your fingers a little easier. So basically what we're going to do is pull them off rack by rack. I'll start with the peach jalapeno. That's the one I have the least of. We'll do it rack by rack. So we'll start with the, oops, better put this on pause. Out there, dog. Got a dog helper. So let's start with the lowest rack. By the end of the day, it's going to be a big mess on the table. I'm not too worried about it. A friend of the channel mentioned this, John, Southern Living with John. He's got his own channel, by the way. So if you have a minute, check out some of his stuff. I like his channel, is very nice. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. He's got a lot of different equipment than the Lost Canuck. Anyways, like I was saying, John was saying, you can save this paper. I'm not, because I've already got some. You can save that paper that you did your wraps in and use it to light up your charcoal grill, okay? So that's one way to do it. It's thick, but you just want to brush it in. Just rub it on like that, like so. And this will caramelize into a nice, really nice crust on top of this. So there's one rack. I'm going to damper this down to bring the temperature down a bit, because you don't want it over 300. All right, so you can see it's dropping already. So that was the lowest one. Put this back in. Got lots of cleaning to do, that's for sure. And the nice thing about the stainless drip pan is at the end of everything, after I've shut everything down, I'm going to dump water in it. It's going to boil off the stuff that sticks to it. These are already getting dark, so I'll let her go another 10 minutes. Get out. Hey, there's my dog licking down there. Get out of there. Come on. Hey, no. Okay, so what I'm going to do is clean off this big mess. And then I'm going to give her 10 minutes, and then we're going to pull them off, put them in some foil pans, put them in my holder until it's time to eat. Okay, we are at we left actually it's been 15 minutes since the glaze has been setting in there. We're going to take the ribs off, put them in these foil pans, and put them in the little holding oven until it's time to eat. These really turned out nice. These are some good looking ribs. I don't know if you guys can see this. Take this off so you can see the color. All right, there's with the glaze. They're 100% cooked. Gorgeous. Little IVS does a really nice job. All right, so we're going to put them in this pan and then throw them in the warming oven. Did you say pan or Pam? Okay. All fit in here. Let's get this thing closed up. What I'm going to do, foil these, put them in my Vivor, and then we're going to do a little bit of boil off for cleaning, and then clean all the rest of this goo up out here, and I will see you up at the cutting board. We'll try a couple of these. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Hey, well, we're upstairs in the barbecue barn. We've had these in the holding oven for a few hours now, resting. And the ribs look amazing. They came off the SilverSmoke Insulated Vertical Smoker. I was using some charcoal, meat church briquettes, and some pecan chunks of wood. And plus I used the Chef'sTemp S1 system. It held temperatures perfectly. So let's cut some of these into 3-bone sections. And then for the swim team that I made these for, we're going to do a little taste test. Now I really dulled up my knife, and it's really super dull now. So I'm going to change knives. And the reason I turn these over is so you know you're not cutting into bones. All right, so I'm going to just do a taste test. First of all, there is a nice smoke ring. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Can you see the smoke ring on there? And let's take one of these ribs out of here, and we'll do a taste test. All right. So I'll do. Here's a piece of the bark, and here's a rib. We'll take a bite out of here in a second. Tasty. I'm going to put this over to the side. This is mine. The rest of these I'm going to cut up into 3-bone sections and then foil them up. All right, final thoughts and conclusions. The insulated vertical smoker, the SilverSmoke, that thing's amazing. It just works. Holds temperature. There's plenty of charcoal left in there. I just checked. It's still hot. Probably be hot in the morning. The Chef'sTemp S1, again, held temperature. I started at 225, cranked it up to 250, and then finally you saw me finish them off at 300 when they were wrapped. Everything just worked. And these ribs are tasty. I think the kids will love them. All right, so those are my final thoughts and conclusions. Hey, I'm going to put up, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'm going to put my QR code up over here. I do have an Instagram page, so check that out. If you found value in the video and you enjoyed what you saw, you came to see the SilverSmoke unit work, don't forget, hit that thumbs up button. Really helps the channel. Helps my video go out to other people that enjoy barbecue. And if you have the ability, don't forget, maybe if you don't mind hyping me, that also helps the video grow. All right, so if you liked anything you saw in the video, me using knives, cutting board, hay grill, hay gloves, any of that stuff, check out the Lost Canuck affiliate link store below. Now, I do make a very small commission. It helps me buy things like ribs for the swim team and all that kind of stuff. So, again, this is my hobby. I'm not getting rich off this channel. It's just fun for me. All right, so those are my final thoughts and conclusions. And I talked about the thumbs up. Oh, don't forget, all you new people that came to check out the channel, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming over. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. And again, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, the subscribe, and the notify me, little ding, ding, ding bell. All right, so we're at the end of the video. Lost Canuck always says, don't forget, be kind to each other. It really matters. It really makes a difference. You never know what other people are going through. Just be kind. It really matters. Take care. Lost Canuck says, don't forget to check out some of my other content, whether it's a SilverSmoke, whether it's pellet, whether it's charcoal, just check it out. So, Lost Canuck always says, bye-bye, take care, love you guys.